Ladies and gentlemen, I have to confess I'm a little bit ashamed. Ashamed to talk to you as a representative of a 200-year-old publisher. In a congress like this, where everyone is talking about digitalization, about change, about, well, the future. Probably you will expect that I'm going to talk about the invention of the steam engine, but I can assure I won't do that. Our company is a German-based publishing house. We are mainly in special interest media and B2B media. We are producing a couple of directories. We are producing events for more or less 30,000 people a year. And we have content marketing services, and we are running 14 different e-commerce platforms. That should be enough about our company. Without this exception, you should know that we are a niche publisher. We are dealing with highly targeted groups, with audiences we can define quite clearly. And that's important for all the things I'm going to explain to you. Well, I have to go back a little bit in time to 2011, and these days I received charts like this. It's not of importance what you can see on these charts. The main important thing is the direction of the curves is simply wrong. They went down, they didn't go up. That gave us indeed enough time to think about what we have to do. And we had to confess that our structure was totally product-centric. Everything was built around the magazine. The departments, the positions, the resources, the workflows, everything was centered around the product. But ladies and gentlemen, it's not about the product, it's about these people, it's about the audience. And that means it's not about the magazine or any other product we had, it's about the target audience we had to address. And we asked ourselves, what is our real asset? Well, it's the access to a specific target group. And we gain that access through content, through nothing else. Therefore, the question is, did we get the most out of it? Did we really treat content like it should be treated? Well, the answer is a little bit in this slide. You see at the core the target audience, in this case for watch-loving people, collectors of high-end luxury watches, aficionados like we call them, and in large target audience, the people who are interested basically in this topic. We address these people with a magazine, and we address them with a portal. Okay, we do reach a lot of people out of this target audience, but what is more important, we don't reach more. That means, we call it like this, there's a wide target group out there we never reach. Okay, you will say that's quite normal. If the media is out there, it's not reaching everyone who should be reached. But it's not about the product, it's about the content. For example, here you see a table of content from one of our magazines, and that's a subscriber of the magazine. That man is going to read this and that article. He's not going to read these articles. That means he has no idea what is written, what is shown in these articles. He is simply not interested, or he has not enough time to read it, whoever may know it. But he's a reader for 2 articles, and he's a member of the wide target group for these 4 articles, for the contents which are presented in these articles. That gives us the possibility to address him again and again through different channels. Well, but our editorial staff, probably like yours, is trained to work like this, print and forget. They are going to produce a magazine, or nowadays they are going to produce an article for a website, and after it's done, they forgot it, because they're heading off to the next step. They have to produce the next magazine, the next article. And due to this mode, we are wasting our energy. It's a tremendous waste of energy, because we're doing all that work for just one single shot. And that's certainly not satisfying. And print and forget, we told our people, cannot be the mode of the future. You have to recycle the contents you have, or you have to write and reuse, like we call it today. That sounds easy, but it isn't, I can tell you. Could it be done in a traditional product-centric publishing environment with, well, more news-oriented editors? I can tell you, no, it isn't. We had to change the structure. We had to change the way of thinking. Well, this morning, Kreisky said, we had to change the culture. And I'm now running through 12 lessons we took out of this process, and I will, well, show you what we learned from it in the last 3 years. First of all, don't try to innovate within old structures. You will certainly fail. Therefore, we had to reorganize the whole company totally. And we had to detect that not the product, but the community is pivotal. That meant we destroyed the old product units, rebuilt the whole stuff, and created community units. Other people call it 360 degree. We call it community units. We had to build a new structure, we had to create new hierarchies, new job descriptions, new responsibilities, and yes, we have a lot of new people nowadays because there have been a lot of people who won't be able to follow that way through with us. And we invented a very special operation force at the beginning. We took 25 people out of the editorial departments and told them, your job has changed. You are now not an editor anymore, you are a transaction editor. What does it mean? It means your job has to trigger transactions. You are not here just to write about anything, you are here to trigger transaction. People should download something from our web spaces, people should buy something, people should interact with us. Second, content matters. You have to be aware that these people, your target audience, simply wants information. They don't want ads. We want ads because we get money out of that. The people are looking for content, and content has to be always first, like Davenport said in this quote. Third, remember that ads can only travel. What does it mean? It's like with this bus. It was constructed to bring people from A to B. It was not constructed to have an advertisement on its side. It's a nice way to make some money for the bus company, but the bus is constructed to bring people from A to B. And that's the same with media. Media is constructed to inform people. The ads can only travel with the information. If it's the other way around, probably the business model will not survive the next years. Well, don't be product-centric. We have heard this morning. Be community-centric. It's important to reach a member of the target group. It's not important how. There are many ways and channels out there you can use. It's not about the product, it's about the target audience. And if you're dealing with your target audience, analyze it. We tell our people you have to analyze your target audience. You can't just produce something. Please analyze the search habits of your target audience. Analyze their social media habits. Analyze the related e-commerce platforms and take a look what the people are doing there, because these are real competitors of ours. And then please build personas. Get a quite clear picture what the people you want to address are all about. Because there are many different types out there and you have to try to address them all. Identify the influencers in your target groups, because influencers give you a lot of input, a lot of ideas, and perhaps you can even use them to work for you or to collaborate with you. And then create multiple touch points. You don't have to use only your magazine. There's a blog, there's a portal. You may use your Facebook site. You may use a million of different things. But create them, and after you've done all that stuff, then you can start to create appropriate products. But that's at the end of the chain, not at the beginning. Well, then list your touch points, because a magazine is clearly not enough. Well, we all have to be multi-platform publishers, blah, 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 blah. Everyone is telling you that in this Congress. Everywhere, everyone is telling this. But wait a second and think about it. Are you really doing it? Are we really acting as multi-platform publishers? And we told our people, well, here's a touch points matrix. On the left-hand side, you see the different forms of content we may offer, and on the top, you may see the different channels we have or the different touch points. Use them, and we say which type of content may be useful for which channel. Then use the power of MIUs. Who knows what it is? Okay, that's minimum information units. Every piece of content can be fragmented into its MIUs. You may call it content atomization. You may remember Joe Ripp said something quite similar today. He said we broke it down to 50 pieces of content from one big article. And that's how it works in a very, very easy example. That's an article from one of our magazines. And you can see here on page number 4 that there's an abstract down there. You can use that abstract immediately. You can publish it in a newsletter, on your portal, in your blog, on Facebook or Google+, wherever you want to do this. On the next page, there's the next abstract. Number 2, you can use it immediately. There's a checklist. You can offer it as a download. It's a fantastic checklist which facilitates the work of the people which are addressed here. On the next page, you find another abstract. It's number 3, and then there's number 4 on the next part of this big article. And at the end of the article, there's an interview with a famous person from that industry. Hopefully you have videoed it, then you can put it on YouTube. Then you have the audio file, you can use it as a podcast, and you can, of course, bring that interview in a printed form directly to your portal, to your blog. You see that this one article, this information unit, like we call it, has at least 10 minimum information units. You can use immediately. And we call this embedded marketing. We tell our people you have to use all the pieces you have to embed this into the marketing for your content. Because that's the reality of today, ladies and gentlemen. The editor's job is to create the widest possible reach. We don't have a marketing department anymore who is responsible for this. That's a responsibility of the editor. The editor has to be its own marketer, and he's paid for doing just that. Well, if he's doing it right, or she's doing it right, they are using the magazine, they are using the portal, they are using the newsletters we do publish. But of course they have to use Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and the German equivalent to LinkedIn is Xing. They have to use third-party blogs, third-party company homepages, Wikipedia, Amazon, yes, fantastic touch points to reach your audience. And they have to use Twitter, Pinterest, PR portals, you may name it. The list is even longer if you want to make it longer. That means if the editors are really using all that stuff, they really have a chance to fill in the wide target group. They really have a chance to reach as many people as possible. Well, that's an approach which alienates a typical editor. Our people haven't been all that happy after we announced the whole program. You can imagine, because they have not been socialized to think and to work like this. Nevertheless, therefore we created the transaction editors. Their job it is to do exactly that. Therefore we are yelling at our people, analyze, define, investigate, produce. And if you've done that, please market through all channels and please measure it. Tell us if you have been successful. But if you want to measure something, you first of all have to develop the goals you are following. What do you want to achieve? Do you want to get a higher traffic, higher visibility, or even more revenue? Please develop your content goals, tell us what your goal is, and then measure it. And then we will see if you are successful or not. And if you are successful, fine. If not, let's talk together. You can imagine we needed a direct link for all of that. We needed a link to our audience. The newsstand is clearly not an option for this. Therefore, we had to create our own e-commerce platforms. We built up 14 different e-commerce platforms. And today we consider ourselves to be a shop-centric company. That means in the middle of everything, the shop is located. And through the shop, we can sell whatever you define. We can sell our subscriptions, our magazines. We can sell our event tickets. We even can sell merchandising products and, of course, downloads. And on the left-hand side, you see the possibilities we have to do content marketing, to use the contents we have to bring that into life. Well, and please use the power of real-time relevancy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a fantastic place in Bangkok. Vertigo. It's up on the 63rd floor of a skyscraper, one of the most impressive restaurants and bars I've ever been. It's absolutely worthless for you to know anything about this today because we are here in Toronto. If you want to go to a terrace tonight, you will go to Thompson and not to Vertigo because Bangkok is a little bit far away. That's real-time relevancy. I can tell you a lot about Vertigo, but it's absolutely nonsense and worthless at the moment. Therefore, we have to create a system where we give the necessary information to the people in the right moment, in the right place. That means we created our websites, we created our shop, and between both there's an algorithm. We call it shop widgets. And these are displaying the shop items exactly in the moment someone is using an article which is fitting to these shop items. We are displaying 3 to 4 million different messages every month to the people who are using us. We are using it again in a push mechanism in social media and in a push mechanism in the newsletter. Everything is connected with the shop and everything is driving traffic back to the shop. The data we generate from there is stored in our Salesforce Marketing Cloud, and through the campaign management we use all that stuff to address the people. And I can tell you it works. This system of real-time relevancy is producing a 23% conversion rate. That means nearly a quarter of all the people who are coming to our shop are going to buy something. That's quite an amazing figure, I think. It shows you that it is really working. What has all this to do with mobile? Everything. You can forget all that stuff if you don't think mobile first. Because you see here that the desktop is clearly on the decline. It plays only a minor role, and it will play an even minor role in the future. That means that you have to think mobile first. And that means really you have to think from the tiniest possible device upwards. You have to start with a smartphone. You shouldn't start with a desktop. You have to develop your desktop appearance out of your smartphone appearance and not the other way around. If you're still in the responsive play, you should think about it. That's not the play of the game of the future. Before you're going to ask us, is it working? It is working. Here you see a chart of our community unit watches, and you see that the total reach of this community unit went up from 350,000 on January 14 up to nearly 800,000 now. And we need reach. The most important thing we need is reach within our target groups. And that means if we have the necessary reach, then we can bring up the turnover. And that's the whole thing behind it. We simply need reach. If we have enough reach, then we can get more money out of these target groups. Thank you very much for your attention. If there are any questions, we are happy to answer. Thank you.